Hi, welcome back to Ask Ellen. Real questions, real talk, real change. My name's Ellen. I'm a personal coach and I like to help women get through the bumps and the hiccups in their lives so that they can move forward and have a happier life. Oftentimes, I get women come to me and they're asking me about how do I get control of my life? I feel like I'm just in it, but I'm not living it. And I start asking questions. And as they're talking about the situations that are going on in their life, they start saying, well, my ex this, and I only did that because of that one. Or this happened because so-and-so did that. And there's this recurring thing that's going on, and that's blame. When you start blaming other people for all the things that are going wrong in your life, you're giving those people power. You're giving those situations power. You're giving everything besides yourself the power. So today's topic is all about blame, why we do it, and how do we stop? And what would be the purpose of actually stopping? Maybe we want to gain control over our lives. And do we gain control completely when we stop blaming? It's a concept that I think is so important for people. I really believe you need to take control of your life in order to make your life happy. You have to stop handing over your power. You have to stop blaming. Let's get into it. So why is it so tempting to blame? Well, actually, it's easy. He did it. She did it. I didn't do it. Don't look at me. That person did it. That situation happened. We have done it since we were little kids. We've done it since childhood. It's a learned behavior. And honestly, I don't know who taught us. We've all seen the Instagram photos and videos that are so cute. And we all laugh and we're like, ooh, when you see the two little kids and one kid is covered in pudding and the other one isn't. And the parent comes in and says, who ate the pudding? Obviously, we're watching the video, we know who ate the pudding. Obviously, the parent who's making the video knows who ate the pudding. But that one that ate the pudding will point to the sister or brother and say, he did. It's funny at the time. You're watching and you think it's so cute. And it is. I'm not saying those videos aren't cute. But the thing is, if you continue doing that throughout your life, you never gain control over your life. So, do you want the easy way out and blame someone else? Or do you want to get that control? Before I go any further, I want to make sure that you understand that, yes, things will happen in your life that's completely not your control. Yes, there are things that are going to happen that is someone else's fault. For instance, you're sitting in your car at a red light, not doing anything but just waiting for that red light to turn green, and someone comes up behind you and hits you. That's clearly not your fault. That accident had nothing to do with you. And those circumstances are not what I'm talking about today. Those circumstances will happen in life, and I'm sorry if you've gone through that, and I'm sorry if in the future you go through something like that. It stinks. I'd rather say something else, but it really stinks when you have no control, which is why, more importantly, I want you to control more things than you are right now. I want you to feel secure in your life so that when something happens that is completely not your fault, You can deal with it just a little bit easier, a little bit better, because you weren't constantly blaming other people for the other things in your life. So that when these things happen, you can just focus, take care of it, and move on. Years ago, I had a salon. I was a hairstylist and I had my own salon, and I had this one client who would come in late every single time. It didn't matter if we gave her an early in the morning appointment or an afternoon appointment or even an evening appointment. It didn't matter. She came in late all the time. And you know what was funny about that? Well, actually nothing for me. However, it was never her fault. It was the car in front of her that went really slow. It was catching every red light. It was, I had to work late because this meeting happened. It didn't matter. It was never her fault. And it was very sad to think that she just couldn't be honest with me. I often thought, wouldn't it be easier just to tell me the truth? To just own it. Just say you're late because you didn't leave on time. That makes more sense. I'm sure you have someone in your life who does the same thing. It's quite common. A lot of people like to just put out the blame so that you don't have to feel disappointed in them, so that you're not mad at them, so that you don't then take out anger on them. Maybe while I've been talking, you realize that you do this every now and then. I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I don't throw out blame here and there, but I try my best not to blame people, not to blame situations, because I like to control my own life. I like to be the reason why I do a certain thing. Maybe you can think next time, instead of throwing out an excuse, a blame for someone else, a situation, just own it. Just be truthful. Just say, this happened because I did this. When we release blame from our lives, we gain choice, our choice. And it's what we do with that choice that makes the difference. When you release blame, you gain control. Control of all the choices. So let's go back to my old client. If she had released all that blame, if she stopped blaming the boss, stopped blaming the traffic, stopped blaming the red lights or the meetings that she had to go to, and she took ownership and control of her choices, she would then have to make different choices to have different outcomes. So she didn't want to have me be upset because she's late. She'd have to learn how to get there early or on time. So how does she do that? She has to choose to leave earlier in order to get to the appointment on time. She has to choose to make sure that she doesn't have any meetings on the day that she's made her appointment. She has to choose to leave with proper time in order to get someplace on time. If you know it takes 30 minutes to get there, you don't leave with 20 minutes on the clock. You leave so that you can get there on time. So these are all choices that she could be making instead of blaming this. But the thing is, she blames all the time. So it's going to be harder for her to change that direction. But I don't want that to be harder for you. I want you to embrace the idea of choice. They're all your choices. And here's something that I want you to really hold on to. Your choices may not be perfect. They don't need to be. If you've made a choice and you don't like the answer or the direction it gave you or the final outcome, make a new choice. If you choose to leave Giving yourself 20 minutes when it takes 30 minutes to get someplace and you wanted to be there on time, the next time you'll make a better choice. You'll leave giving yourself 40 minutes so you get there on time. When you let go of blame and you hold on to the choices and all the decisions that you're choosing, then you have more control. You get to choose when you leave for the appointment. You get to choose whether or not you're there on time. You get to do these things. You've just empowered yourself with this one thing. What happens when you start holding on to your choices and releasing the blame in other parts in your life? Let's talk a little truth about our choices. Not all of our choices are going to be good, but hopefully you'll be making choices as best as you can. And that's really all you can do. When you make choices that just don't work right, it doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean that you're stupid. It doesn't mean that you're less than. It just means that maybe you didn't think things through, that maybe you didn't look at the bigger picture. When I bought my salon, it was probably the worst time ever. Or at least right after I bought the salon, it was the worst time ever. We ended up having a recession and people weren't going out as much and people were looking at their money in a different way. That's really not a time to have a salon or start a new business. And I could have sat back and said, oh, the economy, and I'm not going to make any money because no one wants to do this or no one wants to spend money on that. But I couldn't do that. I made a choice to get the salon, to open it up. So I needed to then control how I react to the situation that was given to me. I had to learn how to find people a different way. But knowing where you messed up, well, that will help you make a better choice next time. All your choices will give you a result. And if that result does not give you the result that you wanted, make another choice. It almost can be like a game when you realize that you're just making different choices. Let's say for a moment you go to a restaurant and it happens to be, I don't know, an Irish restaurant. And you go in and you get the Thai chicken. Doesn't really make sense, right? It's on the menu though, so you figure, I'll order it. And then when you get it, it doesn't taste like any Thai chicken you've ever had. And in fact, you don't like it at all. And also, you sit there and go, ugh, this is the worst Thai chicken ever. Let's look at those choices. Is it the restaurant's fault for offering something that they don't cook well? Is it the restaurant's fault for making it in such a weird way? Is it the waitress's fault for bringing it over too quickly and it was really too hot when you got it? Was it the waitress's fault because she brought it over too late and it wasn't hot anymore? Or did it not taste good because, well, you're in an Irish restaurant and you're eating Thai food? I'm not saying that Irish restaurants can't go out of the box if they want to, but I'm talking about helping yourself try to make better choices so that you have the outcome that you're looking for. Your outcome was to have a good meal. You didn't go out to a restaurant to have a bad meal, but you went to an Irish restaurant. Odds are you'd probably be happier if you got an Irish type food. Have the shepherd's pie, have the fish and chips. I'm sure those choices would have been better than the Thai chicken. I know I just simplified things so easily with that example, but that's all I'm talking about today. Release the blame. You don't need to blame anybody anymore. Now that you've heard it a few times, you can start seeing where you might be putting the blame in other situations in your life. Let's move past that. Maybe you have a friend or a relative that is always blaming people or situations or things that happen to them. Nothing is ever their fault. Feel free to share this video with that person because I want them to just release the blame too. Release the blame, grab hold of that control. Make good choices, one right after another. And if they don't work, make a new choice. You can do it. You have the power in you. You already know what to do. Just do it. Tell me about a situation in the comments about something that maybe you used to blame, but then you decided to stop blaming. Tell me about the time that you gained control back over your life. What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about? Put in the comments, let me know, and I'll make a video. This is Ask Ellen. Real questions, real talk, real change. I'll see you in the next one.